Hey there, Ashland. It's Martha Miller here with your Town Tea for the week of March 24th. So Town Council had a work session, the second budget work session this week. That's the final work session before we go into the town manager's proposed budget and head towards the public hearing where that budget will be adopted. And presenting this week, we had presentations from outside organizations seeking community funding. And those organizations include the Downtown Ashland Association, which is looking for an increase in their funding this year, as well as the Dominion Energy Innovation Center, the Ashland Foundation, which, as you recall, I've mentioned down here before, is the mechanism by which Town Council will be distributing a lump sum of $50,000 for distribution to local community organizations, but through a grant process, which is ongoing and ends this week. The application process ends this week. And then finally, Mr. Farrar, our town manager, presented an opportunity for a donation to a new organization for the town, which is Moments of Hope, which is based out of the Richmond area. And Moments of Hope specifically works to address homelessness, unhoused individuals who are kind of able-bodied adults looking to kind of enter the workforce and looking for that kind of next step to improve their life. And so he's proposing that we enter into relationship by donating some funding with Moments of Hope to provide outreach services here to that segment of our Ashland population. And a little bit of a backstory on that. So the reason specifically that the town manager is suggesting we donate to this organization with which targets this sector of our homeless population is because in conversations with Hanover County Social Services, who provides those kinds of services to the town of Ashland residents and are homeless here, they felt like there was good coverage on social services for seniors as well as families and those with children. And so there's kind of a service gap a little bit in that middle ground. And so the town is suggesting we provide some support to that organization to come in and help some of our local homeless here, which I know has been of growing concern to a lot of our residents here in the community. So wanted to just add a little bit of context to that for those of you that are kind of monitoring that issue here locally. And then after that, our planning director, Nora Amos, as well as Chief Aaron Holt, presented their budgets for the year for the Planning and Community Development Department and the Public Safety budgets. And then Mr. Goodman gave a presentation, a wrap-up presentation on the American Rescue Plan Act funding, which had to be expended by the end of the calendar year in 2024 or committed or contracted. And if anyone is interested in kind of what the town did with that $8 million that came from the federal government as part of pandemic relief, Mr. Goodman's presentation is a great wrap-up of that. And I may be a little bit biased, but I think it's a great demonstration of how effectively the staff here was able to manage that huge influx of funding, which was an amazing opportunity, but also created a huge increase in workflow for an already kind of very small, very fully committed staff. So we are very happy to report that we were able to kind of expend or commit all of that fund so that none of it needs to be returned to the federal government, which I know some other localities are being faced with. So just wanted to throw that out there as a little heads up to our residents that, that you should feel confident that your local government here did their due diligence and making sure we took advantage of that federal funding to really invest in some key infrastructure as well as economic development opportunities. So that was it for council budget work session. The rest of this week, so tonight, this is Thursday while I'm filming this, the Public Art Commission will meet. They're going to review the proposal for a new art program that would be kind of a rotating sculpture a program here in town that would launch in 2026, as well as discuss a few other items. So please feel free to come out or tune in for that meeting. And then otherwise, coming up, we have this weekend is Secretariat Day, Secretariat's birthday. That will be celebrated this Sunday on March 30th in downtown. They're at the Randolph-Macon parking lot just adjacent to the statue, the monument there. So please come out for that free event. And then council will meet next Tuesday for a regularly scheduled council meeting. And then a couple other just housekeeping items to let you know that are going on next week. Henry Street throughout the college is going to be paved next week and will be closed. This was scheduled intentionally to coincide with Randolph-Macon's spring break next week. So if you do normally traverse Henry Street, you will see some detours in place. And then work along England Street continues as part of the England Street Master Plan project that's been ongoing for some time. Water line replacements and upgrades continue throughout that section. And then there will be some lane closures throughout the week with detours set up. So again, thank you for your patience on that. Again, that end result is going to be be worth it. But all lane closures will be temporary and hopefully not too disruptive to your normal travel. And then I can't believe I'm going to end on this note, but it has to be said because we've received some comments, and I've noticed when I'm walking my dog around town, please pick up after your dogs. It's not just a common courtesy to your neighbor. I've been seeing a lot of people not picking up after the dogs, or evidence of people not picking up after their dogs. But more importantly than even being convenient to your neighbor, it is a real threat to our ecosystem when that waste is left on the ground. It rains, it goes into our storm drains, which flows into our waterways, which eventually into the Chesapeake Bay. So it's a great environmental concern for not leaving picking up after your animals. I know it's not pleasant, but it's part of being a dog owner. And there are dog trash cans and baggies positioned throughout town if you should find yourself without. So we really try to make sure that those resources are available to encourage you to pick up after your pets. So look out for the bay. We all love the bay, right? And taking advantage of the recreational opportunities it allows. And so let's all do our part to keep Ashland free and dog poo free, okay? All right, Ashland, you have a great weekend. Enjoy the warm weather on Saturday, and I'll see you next time.